I guess I don't really have to snap because it's already synced. Henshin to go, baby. What's good, guys? Iyokuu here, and I want to talk to you guys about Little Town Hero today. So, it comes out in 2 days. For those that don't know, Little Town Hero is going to be here on the October 16th. It's going to be on Wednesday. This Wednesday is when the game comes out. I might potentially get it tomorrow night. Who knows? We'll find out. But anyway, the battle system, that was probably one of my biggest concerns about how this game was going to go. And there have been a couple of articles that have been popping up over the weekend, and they've been interviewed last week. So I went ahead and read some of them, and I just kind of want to let you guys know that probably don't know what's going on. The battle system is the way Masao Taya explained it was a digital collectible card game. The closest thing that I can think about that, to be honest, off the top of my head, is probably something like Digimon World 3, their card battle system where there's certain positions and whatnot, and certain cards do certain things. World 3 was very simple. That's probably not that's not a good example. Whatever. Anyway, point being, that's what he's comparing it to. I want to weed. Wow. I want to weed you. Here you go, children. Take the weed. Don't take the weed. Don't do drugs. Weed's not a drug. Anyway, so I want to go ahead and read you guys a script from what he was saying, or I guess the article, and I'll have a link down below to what he was talking about as far as the article goes, because I watched the hour-long playthrough from Game Explain. They have a video up right now of the first hour or so, 90 minutes I believe is what they titled it as, for the beginning of the game. And a lot of us have this really big concern. You can scroll down, you'll see it in the comments down below. It's in the Reddit. I posted a couple times in the Little Town Hero Reddit, or the Nintendo Reddit for it. The battle system seems really slow. And as much as I'm a fan of JRPGs, I don't think in this day and age we need a slow battle system, especially with a game that you don't leave the town. Everything revolves around this town. I can read about that too if you guys want. I'm gonna do it anyway, but whatever. Anyway, all right, so the question is, in Little Town Hero, you battle using ideas. Could you tell us a little more about the battle system? How is it different from other turn-based systems? And so Taya, or Mr. Taya, goes on to explain, the battle system uses something like digital CCGs, digital collectible card games, as a base. In those games, your units face off, and you need to select characters carefully to put yourself in an advantageous position to win. You know what? Now that I read this out loud, a very good example of this is Final Fantasy IX, the card-based system in that, or the card game in Final Fantasy IX. I didn't like 8, so I don't know anything about FF8's card system, but I do know about FF9. FF9's card system is very, very particular in where you place particular cards, who has the most power, so on and so forth. So for those that are familiar with that, I would imagine that's how he wants you to think about this game. For those that aren't familiar with that, imagine, I'm assuming from Pokemon, right? Because everybody knows that Little Town Hero is Game Freak's kind of like mini baby project right now. No correlation to Pokemon, but the way I think about this, or the way I want you guys to think about it, for those that, you know, again, have not played any other game or any other card game, you don't know what he's talking about, you're like, digital card game, what does he mean? Imagine if Pokemon, right, the same concepts of Pokemon apply to Little Town Hero or to any card game, but the position now mattered. So imagine if, for instance, fire still beats grass, right? So if you have a Torchic versus a Trico, you're like, all right, cool, I know that if my Torchic uses flamethrower or drill peck, Trico loses. All right, that's like baseline how it is. But what if you could only use drill peck from behind? Or what if flamethrower was only super effective from up above? So that means I have to position my Torchic to be on a higher plane or a higher position than this Trico in order to get the super effective hit from flamethrower. Otherwise, it won't be super effective. Think of it that way. So just think of the same concept of Pokemon, but then add positioning into play. If you want to really go into depth with it, you can watch a couple anime episodes and like some of the later ones. Actually, season one makes more sense. Ash vs. Brock, Pikachu, water, pipes, shocked Brock, Onyx, rock. You get what I'm saying. If you compare other turn-based systems to CCGs, the actions are simple and the number of enemies you face off against at once is limited. Pokemon is a little different because I painstakingly worked the system so you can face off against a huge number of enemies and go through great hardships. The fun kind of hardship though. And Mr. Taya is the one that since Gen 5. He's the one that's been working on the battle system for Pokemon, so that's what he means by that, in a sense that like fighting a lot of enemies, going through great hardships. You fight a lot of trainers throughout the world, you level up, get stronger, and that way you accomplish like the end game. You know, you beat the team, whatever, or you beat the Elite Four, so on and so forth, because of all the trainers that you went through to get there. That's what he means by that. Unlike other turn-based RPGs, you can't beat the higher level enemies by just using your strongest move over and over, or simply choosing the best units for the job. You must think about the moves you make. So that's what he went ahead and said about the battle system. Personally, I'm a lot more interested in the battle system because of that, you know, script, because of that quote. Because prior to that, I wasn't, you know. I like what it looks like. It reminds me of Pokemon and maybe something else. Like, now that he mentions card games, I can easily see card games. The few that come to mind would be Monster Rancher, and again, Digimon. But that's just me. In Final Fantasy 9, other people can have different card games that, you know, they might imagine that to kind of revolve around. But in short, I just kind of wanted to talk about that because like I said, I watched the hour-long playthrough, or the 90 minutes, the first 90 minutes, and everything just feels slow. Battles feel really slow. There's really nothing else to say about it besides that I guess they look slow. I don't have the game yet, so they look slow. Battles look slow. There are a couple different things in there. Like there's an is it, I think is an is it is an idea, if I'm not mistaken, and then a that's it, or a that's it. I'm just gonna call it that's it because that's what it is. It and that's it. That's Ebonics. But those are some idea moves. You know, that's it is like the idea coming to fruition. There's actual ideas. There's this bubble that pops over your head that's like, it's like think or headspace or something like that. But the mechanics of the battle system seem well enough to ride the game on, with each boss monster being something that attacks the town. The boss monsters are very unique. I like that aspect, but again, there's a lot of things that I'm kind of worried about with Little Town Hero, and I'll talk about that in another video on whether or not I think Little Town Hero will succeed. But I'm definitely worried about some of those things. Anyhow, that's all I wanted to talk about today, was the battle system. I wanted to give you guys a little more wow, I can't talk, a little more in depth on how we should approach it. I don't want any of us, for those interested in Little Town Hero, I don't think we should be comparing it to Pokemon anymore. I think we should be approaching it as this card game, or as a particular card game that we have in mind, and looking at it from that aspect, because this ain't Pokemon. It's not a regular RPG. It's not a regular JRPG, but it's not Pokemon either. So that's that. But yeah, Little Town Hero, 2 days away. Hopefully you guys are excited about it. I know it sounds like I'm dry about it. I'm not. I just woke up, so like, let me embrace the day. Okay, smell you later.